What's going on, 80K Sports Performance families? Ryan here with this week's Coach's Corner. And this week I wanted to talk about the concept of 8 hours per month. And to a lot of people on first glance, that sounds like, hey, that's not a ton. 8 hours over the course of a month works out to about 2 hours a week over a 4-week month. But the funny thing is a lot of times when we're talking about sports performance training, a lot of people are telling us that that's too much and they don't have time for that. And in the big picture of how many hours are in a total month, being around on average 720 hours, again, it's kind of crazy to think that we are often told by athletes and parents of athletes that 8 hours a month is too much. And that is also coming from people who are spending 5, 10, sometimes even more hours per week on their sport-specific practices, games, things like that. But 8 hours in a total month, that is unreasonable. And it's a little bit crazy and it might seem a little bit dramatic, but when we look at developing your athlete and what's actually best for them in their development, especially in their younger years, but even through high school and into college, most athletes aren't doing enough developing themselves physically, working on those basic attributes that are going to help drive all their sport-specific skills, all while reducing their risk of getting injured. But again, we see more and more athletes year over year doing more and more hours of their sport-specific skills, practices, lessons, things like that, and saying that they don't have time for doing the thing that's going to help them drive those basic qualities that are going to help all those specific skills improve, as well as reduce their risk of injuries, where we're seeing injury rates up 200, 300, 400%. When we know, on the other side of things, that proper strength training can reduce their risk of injury by 30 to 50%. So it's really time, I think, that in 2026 we take a look at where we're allocating our time for our athletes, because the way we're heading is more and more injuries, more and more time on the sidelines when we're saying we don't have time to put in 2 hours a week, 8 hours a month into our sports performance training, our physical preparation, our basic physical development. In sacrificing doing that, we are spending more time on our sports skills and then therefore increasing our risk of injury, spending more time on the sidelines. So if you have questions on how you are splitting your time, how your athletes splitting their time, and how we maybe could switch that in a more favorable way, feel free to reach out, and we'll see you in next week's Coach's Corner.